when we talk about union budget, automatically the people's expectation goes up. So this time, because of COVID, there are in fact a lot of changes have happened in the economy. So now government has to be extra careful. And Nirmala Sitharaman has announced that this time we're going to have a historical budget. So now let's look at what are the aspects we need to think about. The government's responsibility is to increase the consumption, which is the demand, and they have to increase the production. So now the economy largely depends on these two things, consumption as well as the production. So now production is basically supply. Now if the production is happening, it means it is creating employment. It is giving money to people. If consumption is happening, automatically the producers, the companies, corporates, manufacturers, even farmers, they are being benefited because they have demand for their produce. So if these two doesn't happen, it's not going to happen. Because of COVID, this chain is broken now. Now government has to ensure that this cycle restarts. How do they restart this cycle now? They will have to put more money in the hands of people. How do they do that? So that the consumption goes up. But they can do that only by cutting down the taxes. So now what are they going to do? They may say that, okay, income up to 5 lakh currently, between 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, currently there's 5% tax. But if your total taxable income is below 5 lakh, then there is no tax, even under the new tax regime. Otherwise, it's 5% tax. That they may say, no, up to 5%, 5 lakh, there's no tax. Or they may say, 5 to 7.5 lakh, currently it is 10%, and 7.5 to 10 lakh income, currently it is 15%. They may make it flat 10% for 5 to 10 lakh. That's another thing which I am also looking forward to. If that happens, automatically people will save more money in taxes. That's one thing. Second thing where we are expecting more to happen is to increase the production. Now we need industries to start. Now industries have a lot of problems, especially startups which are creating almost 30% of total employment in the country. Today they don't have money, so they don't have access to good capital. Narendra Modi has just announced 1,000 crore rupee fund, which is too small for an economy of this scale, right? It's a very small amount. So probably if they can announce a larger fund for startups, and second one, the way they had this emergency credit line, because that was for limited crowd, because only those people who had existing debt, they were able to access it. This time, they might sanction new loans for startups and businesses. In fact, recently I was reading what Tejasvi Surya was suggesting the government. That's again one point in that. So they may sanction fresh loans to businesses. That's another area. And apart from that, today, if the production has to go up and the consumption has to go up, unskilled laborers have to get employment. Where do we see unskilled people getting employment? In the construction space, real estate space. If real estate space has to go up, house purchase should become cheaper. How does it happen? Only by subsidizing the interest cost. So which means if people have to be incentivized. So we had this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, which is going to get over this March or May. Last year they extended in the budget, but I think this year again they're going to extend it so that house purchase will continue. Which means those who are purchasing a house, let's say you're purchasing a 50 lakh rupee house, you're availing 40 lakh rupee home loan. Now for 40 lakh rupee home loan, you will now start getting up to 2.5 lakh rupee interest at a time. That's a big relief to all the home buyers. Which means more house construction, the real estate development will happen, the construction will continue, which means a lot of these unskilled laborers will get employment. That will further increase the consumption and automatically increase the production. These are the three areas. One is the personal income tax. Second is support for businesses by giving equity capital as well as debt. And the third area is supporting construction in the real estate space. These are three things which I'm expecting.